Okay, so I was asked to do a video of decorating my island and stuff, so I've done my best. I completely leveled my island recently and did a bunch of new terraforming, moved all the buildings and everything, and then I took some footage of it, and this is just going to be me sort of going over how I do it. You will see me sigh a lot. The controls, especially with my Joy-Cons, are really frustrating, but it works out. So right now I know I want to put a bridge here, and to put a diagonal bridge, you need to have 4 corners basically. You need to have a lot of space. You won't end up using it all. You can change it afterwards, but you need it to begin with. It's very annoying. So here I'm just trying to make things look a little bit more natural. I don't like a lot of really long lines. Because then the repeat in the pattern becomes very obvious, like all those little dips. So what I'm trying to do here is just make things a little bit more flow better, basically. So this is the lake that I had planned out for my campsite. One thing that was nice about redoing my whole island in this situation is that I knew what I was going for. I used an app to design the whole island, and so I was using that map as a reference. It made this so much faster. I do think there is something to be said for doing it organically, which is how my previous 2 island layouts have been, but this was just a lot easier because I had already made all the decisions and I didn't need to do anything fancy. So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to make sure that I had a nice, sort of wide lake. I know that's really popular lately. I'm not ready to commit the amount of space that some YouTubers are, but I did my best. And I wanted to have the campsite to the north of it, and then I wanted to have a little picnic area to the south. And it ended up there's not quite enough room for the picnic area on the south, so I might redo that at some point. I'm always hesitant to leave those sharp edges. I know it can occur in real life, but I don't know, they just look weird to me. It looks like I forgot to do something. So here what I'm doing is I'm digging with my shovel to plot out where I'm going to build my cliffs, just to sort of get an idea of how much space it's going to take up, what parts do I want to jut out or push in to make it look more natural, where the curved edge is going to be, and so on. And the nice thing about that is that you can build right over them. You don't need to fill in the hole first. And it's a lot easier to fill in a hole than it is to break down a cliff. So here I've just got to move some stuff out of the way. I tried moving a bunch of stuff just to the edges of my town, and then of course when it came to decorating the edges, it was an issue. So what I'm trying to do here is I wanted to do just a really long cliff that completely obscured the view of resident services. And I ended up shortening it quite a bit later on because it was an ambitious idea, but it didn't really work out in practice. Part of the problem is that I didn't intend to have ramp access to these cliffs, and it just took up so much space for something that the villagers weren't going to be able to use, or that NPCs could get stuck on, and so on. So that's a good thing to keep in mind before you design, is that there's a lot of ideas that seem good in theory but don't work as well in practice. I like to make sure that my island is playable. So what I'm doing here is moving some trees out of the way. I'm going to do a little bit more construction this time. It's near my rock garden, which is a pain in the patoot, but it is done and I never have to do it again until, the next time I do this. So what I wanted to do near them is just a little raised area with a fountain, or not fountain, a waterfall. So something that I say a lot to myself and then never listen is don't bother with diagonal back corners for raised areas. And the reason for this is that you can not really see what's behind it anyway, so you might as well take as much advantage of that space in the actual cliff as you can. I'm not sure if that makes sense. But you can see here that I had initially had a fairly sharp angle on the back, and then I removed it, and it was for that reason. So this clip is me working with the patterns that I got. I wanted to do path borders because I feel like it makes the whole area look like more finished and just immersive, I guess it might be the right word. I'm trying to eyeball this, which is not a good idea. I'm not good at it. I don't know why I do it, but so you'll see me stop and like look around myself a lot because I'm like, wait a second, why doesn't this look right? And also balloons are a thing. You're welcome. I'm actually doing them for the purpose of this video. Not that I don't shoot them down anyway, but I know it drives me crazy when YouTubers don't get balloons. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is me still struggling to figure this out. Honestly, like, I get a lot of compliments on my island, and I feel kind of imposter syndrome-y about it because it really is such a trial and error process. I know when it's done, it looks really nice, but it's not like talent. It's just, I managed to stumble on something that looked good after a really long time of just fucking around with stuff and stealing other people's ideas. So, but I appreciate the compliments anyway. And I know that that's how, you know, imposter syndrome works, and that art is a, you know, kind of a, an inspired or an inspiration-driven thing. So this is me working on the cliffs yet again. You can see I've done a little bit of work off camera. Our friend CJ is going to be getting in my way a lot. Maybe not in this clip, but just, you know, in general. He's a good guy. I did have to take all the sound off of these clips because they sounded awful sped up. So hopefully that's not too annoying. So I wanted to have a little bit of space. I like my stuff to be traversable even if I can't actually, like, even if I don't intend to have people go up there. But in this case, that pointed corner bothered me so much and I couldn't replace it, so I just put a bush there. That is my trick for fixing any area that I don't like. Put a bush on it. You can see I did a little bit more work back there. So in this clip, I have marked out all the places where I want tree stumps with a different tile, and then I'm erasing them, planting the fully grown trees that I had in my pockets from before the redo, and then chopping them down so that I can have a stump there. It felt a little sad to be like cutting down all these trees that I could have been using for decoration, but I didn't feel like growing one and then remembering that I needed to have it there. So yeah, I just grew the ones that I intended to decorate with instead. Also, you can see, I feel like you can see my ADHD an awful lot in these clips, where I just get very easily distracted and then have some difficulties with task prioritization, but you know, we're working on it, it's fine. And then that's it. Thank you very much for watching this. I know it wasn't great, but that's fine. I love you. Bye!